1. The problem. The dopamine overload. Lemke posits that our brains were evolved for a world of scarcity, where we had to work hard to find food or mates. Today, we have instant access to high-reward stimuli, social media, sugary foods, online shopping, streaming, and drugs. Dopamine's role. It is not the pleasure molecule, but rather the motivation molecule. It drives us to seek out rewards. The problem. Because these rewards are now infinite and effortless, our brains are constantly flooded with more dopamine than they were designed to handle. 2. The pleasure-pain balance. The most critical concept in the book is the homeostatic balance between pleasure and pain, which Lembke visualizes as a seesaw in the brain. The seesaw. When we experience pleasure, dopamine is released, and the seesaw tips to the pleasure side. The down-regulation. To maintain homeostasis, balance, the brain has a compensatory mechanism. It presses down on the pain side of the seesaw to bring it level again. The after effect. This pain is felt as a come-down, a craving, or a feeling of restlessness once the pleasure wears off. Chronic use. If we keep hitting the pleasure side repeatedly, the brain eventually breaks the seesaw, keeping it permanently tipped toward the pain side. This is why addicts need more of a substance just to feel normal, a state known as anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. 3. The solution. The dopamine framework. Lemke offers a practical 8-step framework for reclaiming balance and breaking the cycle of compulsive overconsumption. Letter step description. D. Data. Be honest about what you are consuming, how much, and how often. O. Objectives. Identify why you use the behavior, for example, to escape boredom or anxiety. P. Problems. Acknowledge the negative consequences: health, relationships, time. A. Abstinence. Commit to a 30-day fast from the high dopamine behavior to reset the brain's seesaw. M. Mindfulness. Observe the cravings and discomfort during abstinence without acting on them. I. Insight. Realize how your mood improves after the initial withdrawal phase. N. Next steps. Decide if you will quit forever or moderate, and how to do so. E. Experiment. Test your new boundaries in the real world. 4. Key strategies for recovery. Self-binding. Since willpower is a finite resource, Lemke suggests self-binding, creating physical or digital barriers between yourself and your drug. Physical. Locking your phone in a drawer. Chronological. Limiting use to certain hours of the day. Categorical. Banning specific types of content. For example, no social media, but news is okay. Seeking pain. Hormesis. Surprisingly, Lemke suggests that intentionally seeking out mild pain can reset the seesaw by forcing the brain to tilt back toward pleasure naturally. Examples: cold showers, exercise, or hard mental tasks. The logic. Instead of a pleasure-first spike that leads to a pain crash, these pain-first activities lead to a slow, sustained rise in dopamine. Radical honesty. Lemke argues that lying is a hallmark of addiction. By practicing radical honesty with ourselves and others, we strengthen the prefrontal cortex, the logical brain, and build more authentic connections, which are natural sources of healthy dopamine. Summary. Quote, "The secret to finding balance is combining the science of desire with the wisdom of recovery." Are you considering a dopamine fast for a specific habit? Or are you more interested in the neurological science behind why we crave things?